Hello YouTube, this is Mental Disconnect here, bringing you another episode of Let's Play Dns Techpack. And as you remember, last episode we did a lot of power generation. Well, let me show you what happened and all that. That's actually all gone, because apparently steam boilers are they're too clunky for what I need, and I just directly pumped lava into these things, and it was generating roughly the same not EU, but RF that I needed to power my machines. Like over here you see the laser drill and the pre-charger. They're making resources faster than they were originally, and this design looks cooler and it saves on piping. As you can see, you can just watch those little things go in, and they go into these ender chests, which come over here to this AE system, which is processing this ore. I don't have everything set up, so we have a backflow of material coming into the system, like over here. But that can't be helped right now due to the flooding in our system. We just kind of have to wait for material to come in and out. So let's go ahead and fill in some of the system. There you go, just plug in some nether iron. Or don't plug it in there. Just looking for a good place to dump stuff. Oh, that should be almost done. So we can just drop this nether iron in there. Oh, no, there it comes. Come on. There you go. Just dump that iron in there. Or? Didn't go in. There you go. So it does that. It processes the ore. I still have a couple more things to import, but other than that, I think this is a pretty good setup for right now, and it gives us tons of resources. And I'll come back and explain this just in a second after I show you what's new. Another thing that's new is, in order to get all that stuff done, we needed this rubber tree farm. And we needed lots of wood. This is why this is here. And this is why this is here. Okay, so what this does is, rubber saplings are planted here through a planter that's under all this, and there's a sludge boiler right here that boils sludge and everything, and here's a harvester, and that's a fertilizer. And as you can see, there's a bunch of sewer blocks down here, and what these sewer blocks do is they collect poop from these cows and turns it into industrial fertilizer, which helps these trees grow a lot faster, so we don't have to wait around for them. That's basically what that does, and we're getting a surplus of fertilizer from those cows over there. Also a very good thing. And here is my wood generator, because I am too lazy to build another one of these farms. And because we're making an industrial complex, let's do it in an industrial way. Steam ovens cook all these oak woods into charcoal, and the charcoal fuels this stuff, which provides steam, and these things are high pressure coal boilers from Gregtech. Need to be fed water and a fuel source, and that pretty standard stuff. As you can see, how they're set up is import buses over here, as it pulls out the ash that we get from there, and the export buses put in coal, and it's all fueled by I shouldn't be in here, but anyways, so what this does, originally it was meant to convert everything into wood. However, I have too much wood in the system right now. Like you see here, I have a 91k worth of wood, and with that amount of wood in the system, I figured it'd be a good idea not to have any more wood, at least for a while. After this burns to about 10 or 15k, I'll stop it and convert it back into charcoal and stuff. And over here you see how many resources we've gotten over time. but a lot of it is unprocessed material that I have yet to find a very efficient way of processing for my taste. Right now we just have these industrial grinders. They're not very time efficient, but they do provide tons more resources, and we're all about resources here. Lots of time has been put into this, as you can see, 176 Minecraft days, or me just playing around and running around. But I'm hosting this on a private server so I can show some stuff to my friends who may well, I'm at a loss for words today, who may come play with me in the near future, so you might be able to look forward to that. Here is my ridiculous amount of magnetic dynamos that used up quite a bit of nickel and iron to make, but totally worth it. Yep, that is my tower of power sideways. It does look like a decent sized reactor over here, but I mean, other than that, it looks pretty cool. And here's what's powering my little build over here. Lots of lava getting created and shipped off. Good little build over here. Let's see what else. Fluid. I currently have 20 kilo buckets of lava, which is a ton of lava. And I have 3 kilo buckets of creosote oil before I cut off that line, and 9 kilo buckets of steam. I don't even know what that steam's doing in there anymore, because it's very inefficient to transfer steam like that. Right. And here is my ore processing facility right now. And how this works is ore comes in through these ender chests, and then they get funneled into the system over here. And this system processes that ore into ingots, like so. And you see them processing it. And they get shipped off into this pipe and sent off into my ME drive. And I thought this setup looked pretty cool while it saved me an ME cable, which is a pain in the butt to make. Those import and export buses are a pain in the butt to make. Hopefully this will cut back on my lag a little bit. I'm not too worried about it, but I would like to see a pretty good sized frame rate. And this just looks nice. Rather than using everything from like industrial crack and Gregtech to process our ores, having something like this is pretty nice in my opinion. Alright, let's come down here and I'll explain what's going on over here. Okay, so we have these things. This is where all the ores come in from. And this is what gets shipped out to be processed. And right here is our ender chest that goes directly to our ME system over there with the drives. The reason being is we have a ton of dust and stuff here. Sometimes we just want to throw that dust back into the system. Or we have resources like diamonds and apatite that we want to dump back into the system. And the only way to do that is to route it all the way back or pump it up, which we're going to do here. Now it should wind up in the enemy system over there and do everything we need to get done. Now see, I can just move the nickel as well. We're getting a buildup of lots of different types of resources that I can't seem to process just yet in our little industrial complex, because This is rather lame when it comes to processing. It's almost not fast enough to keep up with the amount of ores that we're getting. But there's no way we can really counteract that. So, what we do is we have to manually do some things. First, we have to create more of these power-hungry industrial grinders and machine casings to get everything working. We have these things over here, the industrial blast furnaces, making everything we need to make industrial centrifuges. And the centrifuge is extremely slow. Some of these recipes are just, they take way too much time. Like now. It's still there. There, see? But the amount of stuff they give you is quite substantial. And we need lots of stuff. Therefore, why am I up here? I need to come back. I've populated my Mac over here with just a bunch of recipes that we might need in the near future, like right now. Okay, what we need to do is to make industrial centrifuges over here, but for that we need, let's see, no, we need lots of stainless steel plates. The way to make that is iron dust, 6 iron dust, 1 nickel, 1 manganese, and 1 chrome. Luckily I have all of that in this system. All I have to do is to request stainless steel dust. Let's request a stack of 64. Now you hear the system upstairs just crafting everything we need. Here it comes. As it's crafting everything we need. There we are, 72 dust. Good amount of dust. And we have to head over here to our blast furnace. And that's going to process our dust for us at an incredibly slow rate. How slow? I do not know. I could search it. A little bit of a lag there. Stainless steel smelting. Okay, 275 seconds to process that. That is a long time. Alright guys, so after I get all that smelted, we'll be back. Alright guys, welcome back. We've got all our centrifuges crafted and raring to go. All lined up against the wall. Doing their thing. Absolutely nothing right now except for this one who's doing the I can't pronounce that. But anyways, while that's running, these two aren't, and neither are these three. And these are industrial electrolyzers, which we can easily request from our system over here. Let's go upstairs to do it so we can watch the crafting monitor. Alright. Industrial electrolyzer, easy. Now it should start crafting all the stuff. As you can see, it's crafting all the goodies right here. And it's showing us that it's doing its thing. And all of this is automated. So I spent a lot of time putting all these patterns in here so we can get all this done. But this is quite fun. See, now we can have an industrial electrolyzer ready to go whenever we need it. And it doesn't take that long to craft anyways. But I can speed up this process if I come over here and turn this into one giant cube, which would also be fun, but I don't mind waiting a couple seconds for them to just come together and do their thing. But as of right now, this is a perfectly fine setup. I really don't mind waiting the couple seconds that it takes to craft everything. But eventually, when I want everything in 2.5 milliseconds, I will create one giant AE room. But until then, we're just going to have this base right here, do everything we need. But eventually we're going to move to a different part of this world and start up another base and do different things over there. For one, I like having multiple bases to different areas that do different things. Like, I always start out with an underground base so I don't have to worry about mobs or anything. And I like building underground because this is a game called Minecraft. You might as well mine and craft, right? And what best place to do it? As a dwarf underground. And while we were waiting for all that stainless steel to smelt, I was busy setting up the system to do what it needs to do. And this should be completely automated now and able to keep up with our ores, which it looks like it's doing for the most part. There is a little bit of a lag, but that's kind of expected. Okay, first let's import this into our system first. Just come up here. Oops, is this the right one I want to send to? Yes. Just send that up. Now that does that. Eventually I'll make this to where it auto crafts it when it needs it. But right now, I don't feel there's a real need for it. So we'll just leave it like this. It has a pretty decent sized buffer, so it won't fill up that quick. Okay. Here's what we want to do now. Since we have all this ore dust, some of it we want to turn into other things, like the sodalite. Yeah, the sodalite. Just making sure I was pronouncing that right. Okay, what do we do with sodalite? We stick it in an industrial electrolyzer, and that is how we get this stuff, and they're quite fast compared to your other form of extraction. So we'll do that. Stick these on top. Don't. I'm gonna come over here and pick up some empty cells. I should have made like 1,000 or so. Yeah. Now I just take that. See, we can craft. Let's see. Let's craft another 1,000. You should hear the system up there humming, and it should start crafting. Let's check our system. Make sure it's doing what it needs to do. Oh yeah, it's definitely starting to craft those empty cells for us. Yeah, it should be doing all that for us while we get this done. Okay, what we're going to do is these three will always have an import of this. And if I put in a stack, I hope it goes in the right way. Okay. Cool. So it will work the way it's supposed to, going in the right slots. And what we're going to do now is take this sodalite. Oh, I already have that. And just start processing it in these 3 electrolyzers. So we have tons of it. The only good thing about these things are they're much faster than these industrial centrifuges. There are certain things we have to do in the industrial centrifuge that we can't do anywhere else. It's quite annoying, to be honest. But we have to do it, so alas, nothing in life can be easy. And since we have all this carbon dust coming in, we can make, or coal dust, we can make solar panels. Let's make solar panels. Alright. For funsies, let's make 8 solar panels. And we'll just watch the system craft it. And it's just repeatedly crafting the same things. And you can hear our machines in the background humming with excitement as they work. Let me check some stuff. Beautiful. Hey, see, 5 solar panels so far. That's working rather fast. For a low voltage solar array, we also need a low voltage transformer. I can also do that too. We'll craft one. I guess this won't show up until we're completely finished with it. That's probably why. Okay, solar panels. Low voltage solar array. We need to come down here to encode it. Bam. Bam. 1 low voltage solar array. And it has an EV value in case we want to replicate it. Quite amusing. But instead of replicating it, I think we're just going to use the resources and make it. It's more fun that way. But yeah, now we have a low voltage solar array that outputs AEU a tick in case we ever need it. But we don't, so right now we'll probably just stick it somewhere. Like in here. There we go. Low voltage solar array. We come back over here and see how things are working. Doing pretty good here on the sodalite. It's pretty much what we need to get done. Burning through cells a little fast though. Alright, let's take one of each of these and see what we can make with them. Alright, chlorite cells. What can I do with them? Absolutely nothing. So, chlorine cells are worthless. What about sodium cells? Sodium can make coolant. It can also make sodium sulfite. What's sodium sulfite used for? Oh, that's what I need. We can just take this and then it'll increase our ore output on certain goods. Okay, sodium, useful. What about silicon? Let's see what we can use on silicon. Make silicon plates. Not much. What's a silicon plate used for? Advanced circuit. An electrum. Electrum plates. Let's see, how do we make that? Okay. Electrum ingot. Silver and gold. Nothing too painful. So everything is useful except the chlorine cell, which we're going to have to get rid of later, but I have a better idea. We're just going to keep them and pump all the fluids into tanks, which would be fun, but in order to do that we're going to need to roll tons and tons of plates, which I don't feel like doing right now. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to work with these centrifuges. Got to figure out what can be centrifuged. Let's see, maybe we want to do emerald. Can emerald be centrifuged? No, it's an industrial electrolyzer. Make silicon beryllium. That would be interesting. Let's see, what else do we have here? Nickel, coal, ruby. So that is sphelerite, pyrite, plutonium, phosphorus? Oops. Can you do anything with phosphorus? About pyrite? Sphelerite? No. How about olivine? Well, that's not gonna work. Maybe I can throw some crushed. uranium in here? No? Don't want uranium. Maybe some of this will work. Grosser dust, or whatever dust that is. No. So I could put yellow garnet in there. Okay. There we go. Shove some yellow garnet in here. And that'll do its thing. I think ruby only works in electrolyzers. Let's double check. Yep, ruby works in electrolyzers. Guess these centrifuges are pretty obsolete, unless I, pump lava in here? I think we may have to do that. Let's see if I have some piping to do that. Maybe a tesseract. No, I think I'm all out of tesseracts. Well, spiff. What about an ender tank? I don't have that anywhere either. Yeah, I don't feel like making another tesseract. Okay. So if I remember correctly, if we centrifuge lava, we can get electrum, copper, and what else have you? From, oh yeah, we also get gold, I think, from centrifuging lava. Let me check electrum ingots. I think I totally misspelled electrum. Okay. There you go, electrum nuggets, the one I want to look for. Okay, so centrifuging lava gives tiny pile of tungsten, tin, electrum, and copper. For 25 EU, we could do that. I think that's only used for these centrifuges, because everything else is not really useful for the centrifuge, and they're a lot faster than the electrolyzer. And I feel like I ran out of cells. Let's check to see if we got all our cells yet. No, apparently we still don't have any empty cells. I'll figure out what's going on, then I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. That didn't take us very long. Turns out you just needed to whack it a few times with a wrench to arrange the outputs and inputs. Silly me, I didn't pay attention to it, so that's literally what happened there. Not a big deal. Now it's running smoothly. We're getting our empty cells just in time to come back over here and pack the system up with them again. There we are. We have 600 sodium cells. 450 silicon cells and 150 chlorine cells. That is quite a bit. So I may end up removing these centrifuges for now and replacing them with industrial electrolyzers. Let's see if we can just do that right now before. Alright, got one there. Let's craft. Now we just need to craft one more to get everything done. Here we are. Come on. We need the plates. It's probably getting bogged down because it's crafting all the other things. Alright, industrial electrolyzer times 2. Good stuff. All we gotta do is come down here. Take these out. Stuff these electrolyzers here. Make sure it's pulling stacks in and out. Oh, I don't have any cells left. Let's craft another 1,000. Since we have such a ridiculous amount of tin anyways. We need to get rid of all this sodalite. There. Import sodalite, empty cells. Now these should be running unless no cells again. That is awesome. Apparently I can't keep up with the cell intake. Let's see. I can make more chlorine cells or start using these cells. Alright, that's what we'll do next episode. We'll figure out a way to get rid of those cells fast, reuse them, and all that good stuff. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe.